So I think this works now. This works. I think this works, man. Yeah. Are we on? What's the time? Oh shit. Yeah. Yeah. We back. Um, yeah, people. So Tips back here with another show on the channel PTN Productions. You know what it is, man. Yeah. Oh man, I have to get a new camera because I'm seeing two different kinds of images, man. I like the image I'm seeing here, but the other image is not as clean as I would like it to be. Yeah, so this thing, uh, yeah, today we're going to be taking a look at basically James Gunn's upcoming DC slate, man. And like, we're going to look at the merits of each project, and basically, we're going to try and see if this fits into like a larger shared universe. Because I'm at this point, I'm not really sure if this is like, meant to be like a whole shared universe, if it's just going to be like random films that, you know, not necessarily, it's just, yeah, random films that are just made because of, because of how good each individual project is or supposed to be, or is it like going to build up to a larger story? So basically, yeah, man, we're going to be taking a look at that, and we're going to be rating them, man. So without any further ado, and also we're going to be judging the impact on, like, the upcoming, we're going to be judging the impact of each film on the universe, based on its individual merits. So without further ado, man, we're gonna start right off with Superman. Superman is the first film. It's the first project, actually. Okay, it's the second project in this universe. And I'm not gonna lie, I was impressed by the Superman. I was impressed by the Superman trailer. I kind of like these low key trailers where you don't basically spoil the whole plot or what's gonna happen. You just like showing that it's basically like a reveal. Like, you're not really getting into the story. Basically, at this point, I just want you to sell me on some of the images. Like, some of the images just have to be so interesting that, it's gonna capture me straight away. Some of the things that happen in there without even saying much, and that's what I like. There was like only one line of dialogue in the whole first trailer. I can't remember the second trailer, but that's the thing. The first trailer was so impactful. It was so good, and some people might have a problem with that because they don't like James Gunn's style of filmmaking. But as I said in previous videos, I kind of feel like at this point where DC is starting afresh and it's trying to catch up to Juggernaut, which is the MCU, that like his style of filmmaking, he likes an ensemble kind of filmmaking. He likes an ensemble cast. He likes to tell very big stories, or very, let me not say big stories, very emotional stories with a very wide net. Like, he would tell a very specific story, but a lot of people would be involved in that one particular story. That is James Gunn's, that's his gift. So basically, yeah, man, this thing. Uh yeah, that's Superman, man. And okay, yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry, I just got sidetracked for a bit. Um, so, uh, yeah, this film, it looks like it's going to be very good, and basically the whole DCU. I'm sorry, I have to make notes for myself on this thing. People, please just give me 1 second. I just have to. Uh, hopefully that does the trick for the time being. Um. Okay. I had to just make a plan to get some ventilation up in this bit. And yeah, man, because I'm sweating. I can actually feel myself sweating up a storm right now. So yeah. Um, as I said, please like, subscribe, share, smash the likes, comment. All your thoughts on this. Probably gonna change this thumbnail at some point, probably later today. And yeah, my still video, I sent it to an editor, and I'm still waiting for my review on another film. But anyway, let's. I've got a lot. I've got a lot today, so. Uh, this thing. Um. Anyway, man. So, cause I'm just trying to make like notes, so I don't really get like sidetracked or I just want to try and stay on point. But basically, what I am talking about is the Superman franchise, is the DCU franchise, and like the importance of each film and their impact basically on the DC universe, man. So, um, as I said, I spoke about how good the film is going to look. Okay, wait. Import. Film. Important of the film itself and the impact on the whole story is two, in my mind at least, is two very different things. And what else? Yeah, it's on right. It's how like does this look like it's gonna be a good movie? It's a good film, man. Okay, so that's gonna be my sticky note. Where am I? Okay, so yeah, man. As I said, Superman. Okay, so Superman looks like it's gonna be a good film. Um, Impact of the overall story is the fact that the whole of the DCU franchise depends on this one film. That's how important it is, man. It like this film, it carries the whole DC universe on its shoulders. I don't think this film realistically can make less than anything under 700 million, man. Like, and James Gunn, his track record with these films has been very good in terms of um let's stay away from let's stay away from the Suicide Squad film, which was a very niche thing. Even though the other Suicide Squad film had two things going for it. Will Smith and Margot Robbie with two. Will Smith was is a huge star. Margot Robbie was riding a huge wave, and the film itself had like some crazy exposure. So that's what led to it. Like it had a lot of fans, it had a lot of things going for it that pushed it over the edge to have it be the success that it became, even with all the negativity that surrounded it. And yeah, that's why I'm not gonna knock James Gunn's like James Gunn's Suicide Squad. Uh, so this one, on the other hand, I kind of feel like it has something very it has something that goes for it is that Superman is a very iconic superhero. Like Superman, uh, one thing I can say, a lot of people had a lot of problems with the previous Superman film by Zack Snyder, but it's one of those. I kind of feel like it's one of those, projects, one of those intellectual properties you cannot go wrong, man. You could like if you avoid doing what Todd Phillips did with the Joker, it's gonna be a smash either way. It's gonna be a success. I kind of feel that with this, that this is gonna happen on this film, and this thing, it's gonna set up the DCU in a very good way. It's not gonna have people, too many like. It's not gonna have any over expectation. Like we're not gonna expect the world from the DCU at this point because this is literally just the first steps. It's not like Fantastic Four for steps, which comes in with a lot of expectation. It comes in at a time where the MCU is lacking a little bit. It's losing its way and it's really trying to like, get things together at this point. This film is like a clean slate, an introduction to a whole new universe, and yeah, man. So the impact on the overall story, I kind of feel like it's going to be minimal. It's going to be the only thing about this film that I kind of think is going to be impactful is in terms of the introduction of Superman and the many other side characters. Like basically, we might get an idea. I don't think we're gonna get the full Justice League, but with this one, we might get an idea of the we might get an idea of the thing of oh, man, move. We might get an idea of how the Justice League roster is going to be formed by this. Yeah. So yeah, man, we might see how the Justice League forms, like, or we might get a glimpse of the Justice League by this. It's not gonna even be an announcement. We're just gonna see, okay, this is our potential lineup, and even in the if you followed the Justice League series, a lot of people came and went in the Justice League animated series, man. They used it. A lot of characters seemed interchangeable. Like it was basically the old writers' adage, man. Or basically the old comic book writers adage. Like when they ask who do you think could win a fight, and it's basically whoever the writer feels is gonna win a fight. So basically whoever James Gunn feels is going to be his final roster, or which character he will need to be in that final roster in order to pull off like an emotional story arc or whatever kind of thing he's trying to pull off, he will insert that character there. So we might even see him in this movie. They might not even be in the final Justice League movie, or they might die off in order to give us like this thing, or they might die off like at the end of this movie or during the course of the movies and projects that build up to the Justice League film, and to give importance to the characters that will come after them. So yeah, our second, our second thingy, our second film for today, second project is a film called Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, and I don't know, man. This film is directed by Craig Gillespie. It's written by I forgot who wrote it, but I do know. Like I did research. I did a lot of research on this thing like a while back, and it was a good writer, good director. If you don't know any of Craig Gillespie's new film, watch his last outing, which is called Mad Money, or is it no Dumb Money? That film was brilliant. So yeah, check that out. Um, okay. So basically, the three questions: does it look like it's gonna be a good film? Uh, we haven't received any images of it, and that's gonna be my thing about this whole list. Basically, we have no images of it. Hey, hey. Anyway, we have no images of it. We have very little knowledge of it, and yeah, we basically don't know anything. Okay, we got a story. We got like a few hints about the story. We know that Jason Momoa is going to be in it as Lobo. We know that they adapting the best story basically that was based on Supergirl into this film. So everything sets this up to be quite good, and the fact that the lead actress comes from Game of Thrones, which is like House of the Dragon, which is like the biggest show right now. Like, even though she was only in season one, like she was very important. She's very, her face is very in the know, in the zeitgeist. We know her. Even if you don't know her, we know her. So the impact on this story, on the overall story, the impact on the overall story with this film basically is, James Gunn has said this before in terms of his DC films, and he's actually giving the fans what they've wanted for a very long time. Fans have wanted their DC universe to be this fantastical, crazy universe, man. Like they wanted this guy to be, they wanted the universe to be very much on this type of stuff you'd see on the Justice League series. I'm not really sure which year that was, but the one that featured the John Stewart Green Lantern, the one that featured that featured like very a lot of interplanetary gatherings, that featured a lot of you know weird and fantastical and very high science fiction type of themes and events, all of that stuff, man. So this film, it sets the pace for that. Basically, it sets the pace for all the weird, fantastic things that could happen in this new universe, man. And I think with this is the pace setter for that theme, and impact on the overall story. Uh, it's basically this. I kind of feel like this is to give the whole DC universe that emotional edge, man. To it kind of cements the, how can I say it? It provides the backstory to how this girl will handle different type of things in this universe. And I also feel like it's going to be setting the stage for other team up movies that will not include the main roster of the Justice League. Probably might include Teen Titans. I don't think Supergirl's ever been a part of the Teen Titans roster, but I kind of feel that it kind of sets the stage for that. Um, Maybe the Justice Society of America. I can't remember which other team up film Supergirl has been in. All I know is that it James Gunn is probably going. James Gunn is going to take a very wide approach to this. He's going to spread. He's going to use as many characters as he can. He's going to spread his reach as far and deep into the DC slate as possible, man. Because I kind of feel like DC is one of the deepest rosters of all. Like more, I'm not. I think it has more than Marvel. I think it's actually older than Marvel. It has more than Marvel. So, yeah, man. That's what I feel is gonna happen with this. And we're going on to our third movie, man. Clayface. Clayface is okay. Super is slated for June 2026. Clayface is slated for September 11th, 26. Okay, I'm not gonna comment on that date. Um, so let's get into it. Does this look like it's gonna be a good film? This film is written by, of course, the dude who did like Doctor. Oh, what the fuck? He's done a lot of the Stephen King adaptations. Um, oh fuck, how could I forget one of my favorite? Like this is one of my favorite filmmakers, man. Um, Mike Flanagan. There we go, Mike Flanagan, and it's directed by James Watkins. I'm not sure, can't remember at this point in time who James Watkins is, but Mike Flanagan is one of my favorite thing. He's one of my favorite filmmakers at the moment, man. He does a lot of TV, but his stuff is so top tier. It is so well. It's so good, man. I like it. So yeah. This looks like it's going to be toned down. It looks like it's going to be toned down in the version that the first Joker was. That this looks like it's going to be that, and yeah. Uh, I probably not gonna have that much of an impact on the overall story and the importance. Yeah, on the overall story, the importance of the film is to basically keep on making DC content that is good, that hopefully fits in a larger story while telling its own story, that can be used if necessary, but I don't think it will quite be used. Uh, Maybe Clayface could probably be used in the Brave and the Bold film that's later to come that I'm going to be talking about a bit later. So the next film that we're going to be talking about is the Batman 2. At this point, this is where me personally, I don't really like what this film is going to be doing for the universe. I kind of feel like the fact that Matt Reeves is such a talented writer and director, that these Warner Brothers and DC Studios, James Gunn and Peter Safran, to be fair, they don't want to fumble having this guy on their roster. So I think they're gonna try and keep him around. If James Gunn ever, I think they are gonna try and make this movie for the fact that if James Gunn ever wants to lean the way of making a multiversal story, he'll have someone who is very deeply entrenched in his cinema lore, in his ability, in everything, man. So you'll want someone that's very established that he could easily turn to, and that would be another Batman. And yeah, man. Obviously, it's probably going to be a very great film because it's written by Matt Reeves, someone who is taking his time. He does take his time when he does a lot of projects. He has total control. No one can tell him nothing. So, the importance of this film is that it's probably going to make DC a lot of money, DC Studios and Warner Brothers a lot of money, which is going to help to make them, you know, at the end of the day, any film in the DC brand that makes Warner Brothers a lot of money, it only serves two things. It only serves to heighten awareness around how good the new DC Studios projects are, be it Elseworlds projects or if you don't know what an Elseworld project are films that are not of the main canon of the film. They're like not the main storyline. They are other side projects basically, and the canon films are films that obviously follow a linear structure. Oh my god, what the fuck is that? It's a fly. Shit. Yeah, man, it's that season. Um, yeah. Well, okay. Where was I? Lost people. Please give me a break, please. Yes. So yeah, as I said, sorry, oh, it is hot today. It's been rainy season, and obviously, because I live in a very dry and hot place, it's gonna be very humid today. So, mm, so yeah, um, so yeah, man. Like I said, the importance of this film is on the overall story. Probably little to none at this point. You know, a lot of people are suggesting that actually a lot of people are suggesting that Robert Pattinson becomes the uh, same actor for The Brave and the Bold because he still kind of sort of fits that profile in terms of age. And yeah, man, I don't know if that's gonna happen or not. But James Gunn is adamant that that won't happen because the next film that we are going to be talking about is The Brave and the Bold, which will be introducing Batman and the Bat Family is going to be an older Batman. So it's probably going to show Robin, Nightwing, hopefully Red Hood. I forgot what Todd, what Philip Todd, what Jason Todd. Yeah, it's gonna be Jason Todd, Damian Wayne, and Dick Grayson. And probably Barbara Gordon as the Bat Family in this film, and the fact that Andy Muschietti is going to not get as much. Andy Muschietti, number one, very good filmmaker. Um, Mama, it's he's very good at what he does, man. Um, the factors that go into his favor with this film is that he's going to have someone who's he's a very good writer. I'm not gonna say he's a half decent. I think James Gunn is a very good writer. He's going to have a very good writer in James Gunn. I don't know who else. Wait, let me just dig into it, man. Um, who's going to be writing the script for The Brave and the Bold? Um, yeah. Um, as I said, I don't know who the writer is yet, but obviously the fact that Andy Muschietti is okay, Andy Muschietti and James Gunn going to be writing this film together, and Barbara Muschietti. So hey, man, um, this looks, you know, uh, yeah, this just gives me more confidence on this movie, on this project, basically, man. Um, James Gunn himself is probably going to be writing this with Barbara Muschietti and this dude, Andy Muschietti. So yeah, we haven't. They obviously no one has been cast at this point. But and a lot of people are. This is like everybody's throwing their names in the fan cast. So we don't know what's gonna happen with this project at this moment. But this is the one because Batman is like such a huge character. Everybody's like very, you know, everybody's very anxious about this one because they kind of feel that this is gonna be the make or break. Like with this, like as anxious as people are, because the fact that the trailer kind of, it satiated like the feelings for how the Superman movie is gonna pan out. The Batman movie, no one, people know very little about it, and everybody just, you can kind of feel like everybody's just pulling forward because if these two movies work out, if the Batman movie works out and the Superman movie work out, very little, very little in terms of failures will really derail the DCU in terms of the upcoming. Obviously, the it will be coming up, so it's not yet been slated, but the upcoming Justice League movie after this, and the other project after this, you basically just need like one more project to be successful with those two projects, and DCU is basically it's going to be a success in terms of in many people's eyes in terms of critically and commercially. And even if it's a failure critically, as long as it's a success commercially, I don't think many people will be angry at that. Um, yeah, man. So some of the other projects that have been announced that I myself am very not like they're giving characters like no one knows who Sergeant Rock is. That's the next film that's apparently slated. No one knows who Sergeant Rock is, but Sergeant Rock is apparently the next film that's being slated after The Brave and the Bold. A lot of people are are gripe with this film because they kind of feel like there's so many other, especially you know people, non-white people, non-Caucasian people. They kind of feel like there's so many other characters that could have been explored. Uh, all right, we got a Blue Beetle movie. It was one of the last DCEU movies, so uh, we got a bit of representation there. But I can't remember the last time there was a pure, like a specifically black film that was made from the DCU side. So yeah, man. Even I kind of feel like this is one of those things that could really just have been given to another very popular black character, two bolster, the claims of what DCU Studios or the DCU is trying to achieve. And yeah, man, I'm gonna get Sergeant Rock. I don't know if that's gonna be. Obviously, he's gonna cast top tier talent. Daniel Craig has been touted to play Sergeant Rock. I can't remember who's been touted to direct this film. Uh, yeah, it's gonna be written by Justin Kurtzkiss, and obviously, if that dude does the writing, Luca Guadagnino, who directed Challenges, is probably gonna direct this film as well. So I don't know. Dude that who does love stories is going to make a World War II film. I don't know why we also need a World War II film. But anyway, man, in this new fantastical universe that we're building in, I don't know, maybe it's just try to ground the universe as a whole. That, if you say it in that respect, that works, but yeah, I'm still skeptical about it. Teen Titans, yeah, Teen Titans is um the next film in the roster, and that is one I am absolutely excited about. This is like one of the most Teen Titans, thanks to what Cartoon Network has done with them for like what there's the Teen Titans of is it the early 2000s. There was a second iteration of Teen Titans. There was this third iteration, which is the most popular, which every child and slash adult watches, which is like one of the most popular shows on television, basically, man. It's Teen Titans. I don't know how much money this makes for Cartoon Network. At like this, it makes so much money for Cartoon Network, and it also deepens the lore, and also what this thing Phantoms did for in terms of deepening lore and exploring other characters. Like Teen Titans is such like a huge thing, man. So it's such a huge property now that if you make a Teen Titans film, you have to do it right. So I don't know. Maybe James Gunn does this himself if he really wants this to succeed. But obviously, there's other people who are very capable of doing that. I'm trying to think of other directors who would be very capable of directing a Teen Titans film and having it do well. And there's so many different stories. Like this is how good the Teen Titans lore is. There are so many different stories in their lore, basically, man. There's so much. There's so much. They could do the Trigon saga. They could do the when this girl betrayed them for Slade Wilson. Like I forgot her name, but she's the girl with rock powers. She basically joined the Teen Titans and then betrayed the team because she was working with Slade Wilson all the time. She was a plant. There could be like how they work on COVID missions that the Justice League cannot do. They could even do that, man. The sky's the limit for this particularly, man. And yeah, so even this Teen Titans, the importance, yeah, I forgot to give it a, the old my criteria thing that I built up for this. Um, it should be a good film because of the lore, because of how good the story is itself. So there's there's many ways to get it right, and there's so many ways to get it wrong. But I hope they absolutely get it right, man. The impact on the overall story, as I said, Teen Titans is so deep in the lore of DC and the stories that they tell that even if they do a Justice League thing, Teen Titans has so much. It's so ingrained within DC law, LORE, that it could set up. It's one of those movies. It could set up the Justice League film, or it could set up a Justice League film in the future. Like you could watch this film and then actually understand what would happen in the next film, and not be lost at all. And that could be great, man. That could be very excellent in what this film could do. And yeah, man, I said that's the best that I can come up with right now. But anyway, this is a very good film. This is a very good property, man. So I just hope that they do not mess it up. Because this I kind of feel this if they get this one right, this will set up the DC universe so well. It'll be a success, most definitely. Um, Swamp Thing. is the next film that we're going to be talking about. James Mangold is slated to be directing that. It was supposed to have started production a while back, but obviously James Mangold did what an uh, a complete unknown. The Billy what the Timothy Chalamet film where he stars as Bob Dylan. Um, yeah, very little is known about this film, but if you've seen something, the original one, obviously you'd be a fan, like I myself am. If you've seen the recent release, you'd probably be a fan of the first two episodes and wonder what the hell what they were doing with the other episodes. And yeah, man, obviously the next film in this thing in the James Gunn DC universe is The Authority, man. The Authority. Did they say it's going to be animated? No, it's going to be live action. And yeah, James Gunn is going to be doing. He's probably going to be making this film himself. Um, The Authority. I don't know if this film is going to be good. I know little. I know nothing about these heroes. Apparently, one of the characters was in this series that ended just now with the Suicide Squad. No, not the Suicide Squad. Uh, the Monster Squad. Man, bear with me, people, please. Please just bear with me, people. Uh, Come on. Creature Commandos. There we go. Another property that we knew very little about. Um, and like yeah, apparently one of these people was in Creature Commandos. I couldn't tell you which. I didn't watch Creature Commandos past the things that I've seen, and yeah, I know nothing about the authority, so I don't know if it's gonna be a good film. But knowing James Gunn, he's probably gonna make it. He's probably gonna. It might be a good film. So, I'm. This is like me, basically me on blind faith, and just like Guardians of the Galaxy, no one knew anything about that film. It ended up playing a very important part in the uh, Infinity Saga. It ended up birthing, you know, five characters who are hugely popular and were very important in that saga, and still are probably going to be important in the upcoming films. So yeah, man. I don't know. So if we had to look at that, the authorities' impact is probably what James Gunn hopes. That's going to be, and he probably because he has control over this whole universe, he's probably gonna make it he's going to make it a point that these guys are as important to the Justice League as this thing was as the Guardians of the Galaxy were to the Avengers. And I kind of feel that that would kind of be a mistake because you already have Teen Titans. Like, what more would you need, man? And anyway, yeah, next film on the list is the dynamic duo. It's probably going to be starring Dick Grayson and Jason Todd. And this thing, Uh, Dick Grayson, Jason Todd. Um, yeah, it's going to be an animated film, and yeah, this one is it was one of the first projects confirmed, so we know it's coming out. Um, I don't know anything about it. The project, it's probably gonna be a decent film because animators are very good things. They are very good at telling the stories. Uh, Important on this thing on the overall story is that it's going to be it's probably going to come out before the Brave and the Bold. It's probably going to uh, impact the Brave and the Bold in terms of lore building or backstory building. It's going to build the backstory much more about these two characters than that film is going to do on itself. And yeah, man, Tanesi quotes. This is the first I see of it because all of these projects At least I've had an idea. Mexico's Superman film. They're developing a Black Superman film. I don't know who's gonna direct it. I know the black one of the Black Panther or the Black Panther, the dude who worked on the comics. Tennessee Coates is going to be uh, writing this, and J.J. Abrams is probably going to direct it. I have little to no knowledge of this film and or how it will impact a thing, the upcoming DC universe. I can only take a guess as to what's going to happen, and that's probably going to be a multiversal type character. And yeah, so I'm just going to run through some of the TV shows, and obviously Peacemaker season two. Peacemaker, little to nothing was known about him. James Gunn and John Cena made a perfect character. You know, it was a very good show. It looked very low budget, and it probably, hey man, it's one of the few survivors of the DCEU's film days. So the second season of Peacemaker comes out this year. It's probably gonna be good. I hope it's as good as the first season, and Peacemaker will be involved in the new Justice League films, in the things moving forward, in the DCU moving forward. I'm so used to saying DCEU at this point, but yeah, uh, he's and the impact of the overall story is that he killed Rick Flag Jr. So Rick Flag Sr. is going to, who was obviously in Creature Commandos, is probably gonna have a bone to pick with him. And impact over on the overall story is that they, I'm not sure if this is going to happen, but they say that he's going to be the only person who notices that everything is different. There's been a reset of some kind, and that all these new superheroes were not there before. And he's the only person who's going to know that something has changed. So, yeah, that's probably going to be his impact on this thing. Um, Second TV series on this list, my highly anticipated, my dude, Aaron Pierre is going to be starring as John Stewart with what's his name? Kyle Chandler, sorry, as Hal Jordan, an older Hal Jordan. Um, yeah, they're saying it's going to be some true detective style thing, and I kind of feel like this is going to be like Loki. It's going to be very much its own project. Uh, there have been some conflicting things. Like James Gunn said, it's not going to have anything to do with DC. You, the executive producer, said that this says it is going to have something to do with the DCU. So we don't know who to believe at this point. But hey, and then the third, yeah. But my with this one is basically the introduction of the Green Lanterns and the Green Lantern Corps, and hopefully they just dig in more into that role because even that one, the lore runs very deep as well for the Green Lanterns and the Lanterns overall, man. Yeah, let's move on from that. The Waller series is coming through, and I cannot wait for this one, man, because it looks like it'll be a very good film. We're going to be. I hope it's not like so sad and soapy. I hope it's more like cutthroat. I'm not saying sad and soapy doesn't mean that it doesn't have to be emotional, but I just hope that it is more cutthroat, that we get in a little more into why Amanda Waller is the way she is. And yeah, man. Yeah, there's been very little information about that. So yeah, man, we're gonna move on to our next TV project, which is the Blue Beetle spinoff. I this oh yeah yeah this is a series, an anime style series that is coming out. I have very little to no idea what's happening with this, but I know that Angel Miguel Soto, the dude who directed this film, will be working on the show as well. So hey, it probably will be good. Um, Booster Gold, the Booster Gold film is one of the, like, in terms of fans, like there's so many fans of this thing. This it's a very niche character, but there's so many fans of this, and I don't know why, man. Booster is just one funny character, so I think a lot of people relate to him, and he contrasts very much with the whole serious vibe that DC gives. Yeah, I have very little to no idea who's going to be working on this thing. I just know that uh, it could have a very large impact on it, on the DCU, you know, or in terms of what he does, it could give us a lot of backstory into what happens with the DCU. But this is very much up in the air. And my adventures with Green Lantern is the last one. Oh my God, this is how many more? There's a lot more. Uh, my adventures with Green Lantern is the next one. I have no idea what happens with this. Oh, but let me just read it. This is about Jessica Cruz, who I've never heard of. The Mexican Green Lantern or Puerto Rican Green Lantern. I don't know anything about it, but apparently it's going to be is it yeah, it's going to be an animated show. DC Superpowers. I have no idea what goes on with this one as well. Uh, Alliance School. Apparently, it has to do something with the Alliance School for Heroes. Lightning, Flash, Plastic Man, Aquagold, Green Lantern, Terra. Who are okay? This is probably gonna be like one of these. What's the series I'm looking for? Like, is it Ivy and no, the Harley Quinn series. This is probably gonna be probably much in that vein. So it's probably, even though James Gunn said that he wants to integrate a lot of this animated with the live action, this is probably going to be an Elseworlds project. It's going to be its own thing. The one that I do know is most definitely going to be um, important for the DC universe moving forward is the Paradise Lost television, which will introduce Wonder Woman. And like, will it introduce Wonder Woman? I hope it introduces Wonder Woman. Uh, okay, let me just read this article and then, yeah, that'll be it for me today. According to Gun, Paradise Lost is said to be a Game of Thrones S series about the Amazons and Wonder Woman's home, Themyscira. While we know next to nothing about the plot, the filmmaker says the story will feature all the darkness and drama and political intrigue you can imagine goes on within a society of only women. How did the Society of Women come about? What does it mean? What are the politics like? What are the rules he set of its overarching themes? Who's in charge? What are the games? What are all the games that they play with each other to get to the top? No. Okay, what are the games that they play with each other to get to the top? No updates available on this in a while, but it is still in development. But I just hope that the bad guy for this is the dude who um there's a dude who tried to free. Who does he free, man? Uh, a magician who tries to free demon on Themyscira. Yeah, Justice League episode. Anyway, man, I hope that's the dude because he tried to free this thing, and then Wonder Woman had to do all sorts of things. So they could probably like, oh, so I wasn't the right thing. And it's also called Paradise Lost. The episode is called Paradise Lost. It's crazy, man. So you know what? Before I go, I'm just gonna give you like what I think is going to be a play-by-play happening in this very series. Um, yeah, a sorcerer called Felix Fouts approaches Diana after this thing, after he has turned all the women on Themyscira into statues, and this thing. He basically sends Diana to go look for all the artifacts that will free. Oh my God, don't do that. That will free. Which demon is he trying to free? Yeah, she's trying to free Hades. It. As I said, this leads very much into how fans really wanted the DC universe to be, man. So yeah, Sorcerer called Felix Fouch approaches her. Diana confronts him and tries to take him down, but she can't. So play by play of what I think is gonna happen. Diana is going to each episode is going to revolve around Diana trying to find an artifact, not wanting help from Justice League members. Probably, I think she's probably going to do this alone. As she, goes through all the difficulties of finding each artifact, it's going to like we're gonna get heavy flashbacks on what has happened, why she is the way that she is, and how is she going to overcome the challenges because the games helped her overcome the challenges. And yeah, man, I knew it. I hope that's how it works out because it feels so vivid in my head, man. That this is how it's all gonna work out. So I don't know, man. You tell me what you think about this, and yeah. That's it for me today, man. I had a good time doing this today. Yeah, tell me what you think about it. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree, didn't agree, what your thoughts are on this whole thing. And yeah, man, that's it for me today. Tabs out.